Hey guys, welcome to Music Evolve's how-to series on Jingle Bells. Now today we're going to be going over the rhythm guitar parts. That way it kind of gives you a better understanding of the chords that go behind the main melodies in Jingle Bells. So now let's get started with all the chords as they appear. But let me say this before we get into the chords. For any of these chords that you can't do well, or you don't know how to do them, or it's just too tricky to do this first time around, replace them with your major and minor triads and you should be fine to play the whole song. But now this first chord is a major 6-9 chord. We're going to start on the low E string. We're going to be on the 8th fret, which is the C, which is the tonic. Then all the next 3 strings are on the 7th fret, which makes it pretty easy. So it's just 8, 7, 7, 7. Those notes are C, E, A, D, which is the 1st, the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9. Now we're going to take that exact same interval relationship and we're going to move it up a string, which is up a 4th, to F. So we're still going to have 8, 7, 7, but now we got to compensate for that B string tuning and move it from the 7 to 8. So it's going to go 8, 7, 7, 8. On the A string, 8, on the D string, 7, on the G string, 7, and on the B string, 8. So you have your 1, 3, 6, 9 again also, which is F, A, D, G. Now you're going to move that exact shape up 2 frets to the G6, 9. Same thing. So that's easy. Those are the major 6 chords. We also have a major 7th chord, which is a C major 7th chord. Now I play it right here just because I'm in this area for this part. The 8th fret of the low E string, the 10th fret of the A string, the 9th fret of the D string, and the 9th fret of the G string. That's C major 7. So it's C, G, B, and E, the root 5th, major 7th, and major 3rd. Now let's jump over to this G7 chord. So that's the 3rd fret of the low E string, 5th fret of the A string, 3rd fret of the D string, 4th fret of the G string. So that's G, D, F, B, 1, 5, 7, 3. Just like that. The only difference is it's a minor 7th. 1, 5, minor 7, major 3. So it's almost the same shape as him, you just one slight alteration. Now we're going to take that chord and we're going to play it all the way up. So we're actually going to bar that entire 3rd fret there, still keep a finger on the 5th fret of the A, and still keep a finger on the 4th fret of the G, but this time everything else is on the 3rd, and we're going to add a finger to the 5th fret of the B string. And that creates the G13th from that G7th chord. So it's root, 5th, 7th, major 3rd like we said, now 13th, and just the doubling of the root. G, D, F, B, E, G. Now we have F major 7th chord up here right above that C major 7th chord, but on the next string. So we have to compensate for the different tuning of that B string again. We'll start on the A string on the 8th fret, then the 10th fret of the D string, 9th fret of the G string, 10th fret of the B string, and the 8th fret of the high E string, which is F, C, E, A, C, root, 5th, major 7th, major 3rd, 5th, perfect 5th. Now we're going to take that shape, we're going to move down a half step, which is E minor 7, and we're going to alter it just a little bit to go from a major 7 to a minor 7. We're going to start on the 7th fret of the A string, then the 9th fret of the D string, 7th fret of the G string, 8th fret of the B string, 7th fret of the high E string. So it's going to go root, 5th, minor 7, minor 3rd, 5th. E, B, D, G, B. E minor 7th chord. Now we're just going to jump down 2 frets, which is a whole step, to get the D, and it's the same exact thing, D minor 7th. And then here is also a D, and this is where we're going to actually play a D minor 11, no 9, no 5. You can call it a D minor 7th at 11, or just a D minor 11 to be simple. Now this to me is the easiest chord of them all. You're just literally holding down a fret of those low 4 strings. So the low E, A, D, and G are all going to be on the 10th fret. So that is the root, the 11th, the minor 7th, and the minor 3rd, which is D, G, C, F. You're also going to take that exact shape and you're going to move it down to the 5th fret, which is A, and do the same exact thing. A minor 11th chord. A, D, G, C. In the beginning of a few verses, I take that C6-9 chord and I play it up the octave, which is a little different because you have to compensate for the B string. So it's 10, 9, 10, 10. And I also do the same thing for the D minor 11th chord. I play right there and I play it up the octave, which would be 12, 12, 13, 13. But being that I play these rhythmically different, they land on a different part than they usually do, and I have to compensate by actually taking that F, that 13th of the high E, and making it 12 instead. So it actually looks like this. 12, 12, 13, 12. So being that it lands at that specific time, it kind of changes its quality and function. So we won't be able to call it a D minor 11 anymore because of that E. So now it's really a C major on top of a D. So you have your G, your C, and your E that create your C major triad on top of a D. So you have a C major on top of a D for that one part. Anyhow, besides that, right in the beginning we have this little jazzy part which uses a B6-9 chord, which is exactly the same as the C6-9. So now you know all the chords, so when I call out the chords, you'll be able to do the right fingerings, know the right interval relationships, or if you have other ways you prefer to play those chords that you are more comfortable with, then play those instead. The way I showed you is just the way I recorded and the way I played these arrangements. And like I said before, you can replace any major type chords like the 6-9s, the 13s, the major 7s with a basic major triad, and you can do the same thing for their minors, whether they're minor 7, minor 11, you can replace those with the basic minor triad.